Welcome to Ask and Learn.
Hello, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we'll construct the truth table for these logics. So the first one is the P implies the negation of P. So we have the P here that composes the true and a false statements. Then we have the negation of P, that is the false and true. So looking at the P implies the negation of P. The implication logic is true if both Q and P. So this is P and this is Q. If both Q and P are true or P is false, no matter the truth value of Q. So here we see that this will be false and that will be true. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. The next one is P by implication the negative of P. So P again is here for true and false. And the negation of P is also here for false and true. Then we're looking at P, then the by implication of the negative P. Okay, so this time the by implication is only true if the truth value of the P and Q are both the same. So here we can see that it's not the same, so that is false. This is not the same, so that is false. Okay, let's go to the next one. That is P P then or P or P or Q. That is inclusion. This is exclusion. So the P or either P or Q exclusively. Okay, so that's how it's read. Now let's look at the P. Here there's another one involved, so we'll be looking at the true, and false. Looking at true, false, true, false. Okay. Then we look at P or Q. So this logic is true when they are both true or either of them is true. So you have true, one of them true, the two are true. This one of them is true, so that is true. This one of them is true, so that is true. But this, all of them are false, so this is a falsy. Okay. Then here we look at the P or either P or Q exclusively. So here too, the logic is that they cannot be they when both of them are true or are false, it is false. And when either of them is true, then it's true. Okay. So here we have the P and the P or Q true. So this will be a false. Okay. Because all of them cannot be of the same value. So here too, all of them cannot be of the same value. Here, one of them is true, so that is true. And here, all of them are false, so that is false. All right. So let's go to the next one. The next one is P and Q implies P or Q. Okay, so let's look at the P and let's look at the Q. So we have true, true, then false and false. We have true, false, true, false. So first of all, let's look at P and Q. P and Q is like that. Both of them would have to be true for it to be true. So and means that all of them should be true for it to work. Okay. All right. So where they are both not true, it will not work. It would be false. Okay. Let's look at P or Q. It means that the P or Q also has a property that at least one of them should be true for it to be true. So here we have true, true, so that is true, true, false, that is true, false, true, that is true, false, false, that is false. Okay. So here we look at P and Q implies P or Q. So the implication is like that the P, that is the first one, implying the Q. This P should be having the same value, having a truth value. It should have the same value as the Q, or the P should be false, okay, for it to work. So the first one is that true, true, that is true, false, true, that is true, false, true again, that is true, then false, false. Okay. True, true is true, false, true is true, false, true again is true, then false, false again is true. All right. So let's go to the next one. E, that is Q implies the negative of P, then the by implication P, then the by implication Q. All right. So let's look at what we need. We need a P, we need a Q. Okay. So true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. All right. So we equally need the negation of P. Okay, so negation of P is false when P is true, and it's true when P is false. All right. So Q implies the negation of P. So this is like that this should be true, having the same value as this, or they should both be true, or this should be false for it to be true, and otherwise it would be false. Okay, so this is true, false. Okay, so that is a false, false, that is a true, true. Oh, that is a true, true, that is a true as well. Then false, true, that is a true as well. Okay, so now let's look at P, then by conditional Q. All right, so P and Q. So it should be said that it should only have true when they both have the same value. Okay. The next is combining this and that rule for Q implies the negation of P, and okay, and P the by conditional for Q. Okay, so here we're looking at a part that is having the same truth value. Okay, so which parts are having the same truth value? So this is false, that is false because they are not having the same truth value. This is false and that is true. Okay, so let's move to the last one. The last one is P, then the by conditional, then exclusive or. Okay, so P of Q. All right, so here we'll need a P, we'll need a Q, then we'll need the negation of Q. So true, false, false. We have true, false, true, false. The negation of K would be false, true, false, true. All right. So here we have P, then the biconditional kill. We'll look at where the P and the kill would have the same truth value, and that is the only part that would be true. The rest would be false. Okay, and here too we have P and the biconditional of kill. So look at P and the negation of kill to see where they have the same truth value. So that is false. They don't have. This is true, they do. That is true, they do. And this is false, they don't. Okay. So the last one is combining this and that with the exclusion, the exclusive OR. So we have P, then kill. Okay. Okay, so this is said that they should not have the same truth value. One of them should be true while the other is false. So this is true, that is true, this is true, and that is true, because they have one of them is false all of the time and the other is true. Okay, so this is all what we have for the truth table. Okay, thanks for your time.